Hydrogen is all around us. It's very abundant and found everywhere in the universe. A familiar source of hydrogen is water, or H2O. Hydrogen can be produced as a gas or liquid, or made part of other materials. It has many uses, such as fuel for transport or heating, a way to store electricity, or a raw material in industrial processes. The question is, how do you make hydrogen? Or how might those processes to make it impact on the environment? When it is produced using renewable energy or different processes, hydrogen becomes a way of storing renewable energy for use at a later time when it is needed. Hydrogen is always in a form that requires extraction. This is why hydrogen is known as an energy carrier rather than an energy source. There are a number of ways that hydrogen can be extracted, and once extracted, hydrogen's energy can be released either as heat through combustion or as electricity using fuel cells. When you burn hydrogen, it produces water. This makes it an interesting renewable energy source to further explore. We can use colour classifications to help us understand and identify how hydrogen was produced and the impact it might have on the environment. This video uses colour codes of hydrogen to explain the different sources or processes used to make it. Green hydrogen is produced through electrolysis. This is when an electric current separates water into the hydrogen and oxygen molecules, and the hydrogen is collected and stored as an energy vector. Typically, the energy used for this process comes from renewable energy sources, such as solar or wind power, and the process does not release carbon emissions into the atmosphere. Yellow hydrogen is specifically classified as hydrogen being produced using solar energy. Blue hydrogen is produced through steam reformation. This is a process that uses steam to separate hydrogen molecules from natural gas. This process produces carbon emissions, but most of the carbon is captured and either stored underground or repurposed. Some carbon emissions are released into the atmosphere. Grey hydrogen, like blue hydrogen, is produced through steam reformation of natural gas. However, none of the carbon is captured in this process. Instead, the carbon emissions are released into the atmosphere. Brown or black hydrogen is produced by gasification, where carbonous materials are heated into a gas. This extraction process involves the gasification of coal. It, however, creates vast quantities of carbon emissions that are released into the atmosphere. Turquoise hydrogen extracts hydrogen from methane in a unique process called methane pyrolysis. This process uses thermal decomposition to extract hydrogen while solidifying the carbon byproduct, emitting no carbon emissions. Pink hydrogen uses the electrolysis method, but instead of being powered through renewable energies, it is powered through nuclear energy. While there are little carbon emissions produced with this method, there can be other environmental impacts. White hydrogen is the byproduct of industrial practices such as fracking, the process of getting natural gas or oil out of the ground. While there are little carbon emissions produced, there can be other environmental impacts with this method. There are many different ways to produce hydrogen, all with different impacts on the environment depending on their type of production. It is important to understand the different ways hydrogen can be produced and the opportunities each present in advancing sustainable hydrogen technologies into the future.